affect the long term assets and liabilities of the economy. Or you can also say the of the government, because see BOP will be prepared by the government. No private individual would be bothered to prepare the BOP, or he would be least interested in knowing that how much the economy has paid. Suppose I am a private individual dealing with the foreign economy, so I will be making only my account, not the account for the whole economy. While the capital account includes the transactions which will affect the balance sheet, or you can say which affect the long term assets and liabilities of the economy. See, the logic to differentiate between the current account transaction and capital account transaction remain the same as we have done in the government budget, which is for the revenue transaction and capital transaction. Say like giving a donation to Nepal, say for by India, that will be part of the current account because it doesn't increase any asset of the economy. But giving a loan to Nepal would be part of the capital account because the loan is recoverable and it creates the asset of the economy. So this is how you differentiate between them. When you have to define same which do not affect the balance sheet or the long term assets and liabilities of the economy, while for the capital which affect the balance sheet or the long term assets and liabilities of the economy or the government. Now we will just see that what things are lying under the current account and capital account, or you can say which transactions are part of capital and current account. So first we will discuss about the current account of BOP. The first thing that current account of BOP includes the EXIM of goods and services. EXIM means export and import. All export and import of the economy of goods or whether of services is recorded in the current account because it is a routine transaction, a current account transaction. Second is all unilateral transfers. Unilateral transfers we already know, transfer payments. We have done them in national income, or you also call them as one-sided transactions. Like I said, giving loan to the government of Nepal by the Indian government. So you have to remember that any sort of transaction which you feel is an export import of good or service, or you feel is a unilateral transfer, will be part of the current account. The questions which will be asked from you will be like this, that transaction is given to you and you are asked to classify it into current or capital account giving a reason. Suppose this transaction which I am talking about, say giving a loan to Nepal, is asked to you in the exam, so you will have to write it will be recorded in the capital account of the BOP because it increases the assets of the government in the foreign country. And suppose say giving a help to Nepal or a donation to Nepal, that will be part of the current account because it doesn't increase or decrease any asset or liabilities of the government. So you have to simply understand and answer the question in the correct way. So these are two major transactions covered under the current account. Now we move on to the capital account. The capital account, as I said, that it will be affecting the balance sheet of the residents of the economy or the government of the economy, means it would lead to change in the assets and liabilities of either the normal residents of that economy or the government of that economy. Capital account, first it includes the private capital. Private capital refers to the private individuals who are doing any transaction or who are investing their capital into the foreign economies. Like a person A from India buying shares of any US company. Person A buying shares of a company belonging to USA, that is a capital account transaction because it has increased the assets of this person in the foreign countries. So it leads to increase in the assets of the economy. That's why it is a capital account transaction and it is classified under the subhead of private capital. See, this also you have to keep in mind that BOP is a account, so it is recording both the sides. Means the capital can be invested by the private person from India in other country, or it can be the other way around. Or you can say an individual from a foreign country can invest into India. So that would go to the receipt side while this would go to the payment side because money is going out. Second is official capital. Official capital refers to the capital invested by the government or government institutions in the foreign economies, or maybe the foreign governments or foreign institutions investing in your economy. It is called as official because it is through some channel. So that's why it is different from the private capital. While private capital could be direct investment by any individual. Then third is banking capital. Banking capital refers to the capital of the foreign banks in your economy or the capital of your banks in the foreign countries. Say like HSBC, that is Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation, working in India, and person B say taking loan from it. Person B, an Indian resident, taking a loan from HSBC bank. So that is a sort of banking capital which has occurred in your economy. Similarly, SBI operating in England and giving loans there. Okay, that is again part of the banking capital. That is the Indian capital working in a foreign country, and this is a foreigner's capital working in the Indian economy. And it has come through a bank, that's why it is classified under the subhead of banking capital. Then next is amortization of capital. See, the word amortization of capital means bringing back the capital. Say for example, shares of Reliance had been bought by some person A living in Australia. So it means that it is the capital of my economy, or a unit or a share of company belonging to my economy being owned by someone living in Australia. Now suppose person B buys back this share of Reliance from this Australian. Okay, so what he has done, he has brought back this share of Reliance into the Indian economy. This concept is known as the amortization of capital. It may be done by the government, may be done by the government institutions to bring back the capital of their economy into their home economies from the abroad. Because remember, capital is also a resource, it is also a factor of production. So if your capital is working outside, it means that your economy is losing something. So important source of the capital account. The last one is gold and forex reserve. The gold reserve and the forex means foreign exchange reserve, which is held by the RBI. So any increase or decrease in this reserve to pay some foreign economy or maybe by earning from some economy will be a part of capital account, because it is changing the assets of the government. This gold and foreign exchange reserve is an asset for the government. So this is the basic idea of the capital account and the current account. When the government is making this BOP, it will make the current account separately and make the capital account separately, and overall balance of BOP will be the balance of current account plus the balance of the capital account. Okay, then the next important thing to understand is that the credit and debit side of, or you can say the overall balance of BOP is always equal. Equal here means that the credit side is always equal to the debit side. See, because if you follow the accounting concept, that is double bookkeeping. Double bookkeeping means that every credit has a equal debit. This is the rule which we follow in our accounts. Okay, So simply because the balance of payment is being done with the help of journal entries and with the help of the double bookkeeping system, so that's why the credit and debit side will always come as equal and you will have a balance carried down in the account. For anyone who is not having accounts or doesn't know accounts, he simply has to remember that if this question is asked that why the overall balance is equal or why the credit and debit side of the capital account are of the balance of BOP are equal, you simply have to state that it is made on the or prepared on the basis of the double bookkeeping system, under which every credit has a equal debit, which leads to the balance of credit and debit side being equal in the BOP. Okay, so key concept you can remember, because it is another important question which may be asked to you in the board exam. Okay, but it doesn't mean that my BOP will always be balanced. Okay, we may have three types of BOPs. The first is balanced BOP. Second is favorable BOP. It is just like the budget. Okay. And third is unfavorable BOP. Right? Balanced BOP means that the receipt side is equal to the payment side. Like say I have received 500 crores from the world and rest of the world, and I have paid the same 500 crores to the rest of the world, means net BOP is 0. Favorable BOP means when the receipt is more than the payments, means I have earned more from the foreign economies and I have paid less to the foreign economies. Unfavorable BOP is the opposite, where receipt is less than payment, right? And you can simply see that the name suggests the meaning. Favorable means when I am in profit, that is I am earning more from rest of the world and paying less to the rest of